everybody, and welcome to Take Two Radio. I'm Pam, your host, and today I have, let me see, who do I have co-hosting with me? Bob, Jill,
No. Way on the other end of the spectrum there, lady.
I have Sabina. Hello, Sabina.
Hello.
How are you today? Feeling better?
Yes, definitely. No sore throat, no nothing. Yay!
Yeah, that's a good thing. Like I said, it must have been your allergies, so. But we're waiting for our guest to call in. We're not sure if she's running late at work. Kate-Mansi will be joining us shortly. And we are so looking forward to talking with her.
Yes, definitely.
And by the way, I didn't get a chance to tell you before the show. If by some reason I get disconnected, it's because the power went out. For those that are listening, I'm in Illinois, and Illinois is being flooded as we speak. I'm actually very surprised that I still have power. We have water in our basement, and other people are being taken out with dinghies and boats and all kinds of stuff. So it's not good. The governor actually declared a state of emergency for us. So, and I mean literally towns right next door to us, and actually on the other side of my town, they're being taken out in dinghies. So prayers are needed for us, prayers are needed for Boston, prayers are needed for Texas. And I just hope and pray to God that things, clear up and people get caught for doing what they're doing. So I think I'll be moving to Atlanta.
Come on down.
What do you guys get there? I mean, do you get any type of bad weather? Do you get, like, tornadoes and stuff, too, or what do you get there?
Well, there's tornadoes in different places, different areas of Georgia, but in Atlanta, we, knock on wood, have been pretty fortunate. There was one tornado a few years back that touched down in the city and damaged some buildings, but not complete destruction. It was just like, it was a low-cat storm. I don't remember what it was, but it just blew out windows in a hotel and a few other buildings and left, at least everything was still standing. There was just some damage like in the window sections and stuff. So far, so good. The most of it is either west or north or south of us, so it just varies. But we don't generally get too much bad weather. We do get bad storms from time to time, just thunderstorms, and especially in the summer. We had hail. It was really bizarre. It wasn't summer yet. It was I think it was last month. I can't remember, but I think it was last month. And I haven't seen hail in a long time. And usually we don't get that much hail where I'm at specifically. And there she is.
Oh, hold on. I think we have our guest. Kate, is this you?
Yes. Hi, how are you?
Hi. It's a little hard to hear you. Sabina, can you hear okay?
I heard her okay, but now I don't hear you okay.
Yeah,
can you hear us?
Problem.
Yes. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
I can hear you.
Sabina, go ahead and talk. I'm going to try to call in again. Okay, I'm so sorry, but I'm in Chicago, and we were just discussing it. We're underwater. We've had bad storms, and towns are all flooded. People are being taken out in boats.
Wow.
So I don't know if it's that or
okay, I better talk for her.
Okay, so you want to call back?
Yeah, I'm going to try calling.
Yeah, she's going to call back in, but you can hear me okay, right, Kate?
Yes, I can.
Okay, this is Sabina. I'm Pam's co-host, and I've actually met you a couple of times. I don't know if you remember me. You'd remember my face, maybe.
How are you?
I'm very good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
I'm so sorry. The dog talk is actually having some technical difficulties, as we have seen, so that's why she ended up getting warbly. But
that's okay.
Welcome to the show, and that's what you get with technology these days.
No worries, it's all good.
Well, so I want to get started with the questions. Then may as well start somewhere, right?
Yes, let's do it.
Of course. You're Abigail Deveraux on Days of Our Lives, and of course I am really, really enjoying your storyline currently.
Thank you.
And so my first question would be, are there any similarities or differences between you and Abby?
Yeah, that's one of my favorite questions. I think that what's really interesting is Abigail is a little bit younger than myself, and so I think when I first came into the role, Abby was experiencing sort of this inner angst that we feel in that transition of our lives when we're becoming, young women from being, teenagers and young girls, and she went through a lot early on, and so for me, it was really neat because I got the experience a little bit earlier in my life also, and it helped me relate to Abigail, and I felt like being a little bit ahead of her in that sense has given me insight into all of her, these transitions that she's going through in her life. So that's definitely one of the similarities, and I think also, Abigail's father, Jack, was the famous, reporter and journalist, and he was always investigating stories and had this real passion for chasing adventure, and that's very similar to myself. I am someone who, I'm such a Virgo. I'm always really organized and really detail-oriented, and definitely seeks out adventure in my life as well, whether it be physical adventure, like being outdoors, or a psychological sort of challenge that you're going through. I always try to kind of test my limits, and I think that Abigail and I definitely have that in common, and I think the last thing we have in common that's really where Abigail sort of all her intentions and motivations come from is she is someone who is obsessed with love. She's never really experienced a family life like we always kind of hope for, this perfect little family, because her dad was always off doing some big adventure, and she, as a result, I think is sort of this crusader for love, in her mom's life. Later, when there's this role reversal, she really wants her to be with Daniel because she wants the family to be back together, and with other friends and things, it really bothers her when there's friction in relationships, and she seeks it out, and I think that's also what happened with Austin. She felt like she was deeply searching to be loved, and when this new, older professor came to town, it was, she really wanted all of what Austin and Carrie had together, and sort of fell off the tracks in the process trying to find it.
Oh, wow, that's fantastic. Yeah, I really enjoyed that brief stint with Patrick Muldoon. I was going to ask you what it was like working with the very handsome Patrick, and what your favorite thing about working with him was.
What wasn't my favorite thing? I mean, Patrick, I feel like it goes hand in hand with Patrick and Christy, both of them. I mean, I feel like it was such a team, the three of us, and I was so lucky early on in my time and days to be in a storyline with these two veterans that, are really gifted and talented actors, but also have a great work ethic. And Patrick is so wonderful because he has this natural childlike sort of ability to play in life, and that really transfers to his work. He's focused, but in his character, he allows his character to sort of play. And in the rehearsal processes, we really wanted to handle that storyline delicately because it was shocking for everyone. And Patrick and Christy and I, several times when we were together, would just like try things out and see what was best and how can we approach it from a way that really makes sense and digging into it. And they're just, both of them, I can't say enough good things about them. And I was so privileged to be able to work with them. And some of my favorite work so far has been in that storyline. So they're great.
Yeah, I love them both, and I was so glad when they came back, because I remember years ago seeing them, and then when they came back, I really was happy, and then they left again, and I was like, wait a minute, that's not okay.
Christy Clark is just the most beautiful, kind woman, and I just think that is the best example for young people, but it's so obnoxious because she looks like she could be my sister. I mean, it's like, they're like, oh, I watched you on the show since I was blah, blah, blah. I'm like, wait a minute. No, you haven't. And then, I saw their old storyline, and I was like, oh, my gosh, she really, it's amazing. I mean, she's the kindest, sweetest person on the inside, and on the outside is just this beautiful, radiant woman. So I loved that storyline.
Yeah, she's awesome. You are, too. You are fantastic as Abby.
Oh, thank you.
And so I was actually wanting to know, what was your favorite storyline so far as Abby, unless that's it?
Yeah, no, I think that one was. I think it changes. As you go through more storylines, your answer sort of changes. I think last year that was definitely my favorite storyline because it was something that I really felt like I could sink my teeth into, and it was really, it was special to me. But I think, going through my father's death was really difficult, but it was also, I mean, it sounds weird, but I definitely cherished that storyline also because it was so significant to all of the actors involved in it. So that was, that's one of my favorites as well. And I think now, it's so interesting. I'm put in between these two gorgeous men as my co-stars for this love triangle, and I mean, I don't think it gets much better than that. So I'm having a lot of fun now, and Casey is terrific to work with, and he's the first person that I tested with before our booking days, and Chad and Abigail were originally together before anything else, and I have a special place in my heart, I think, for their relationship. So it's this is a fun place for me to be in right now. I'm really enjoying it.
Well, can you guys hear me now? Can you hear me?
Yes, you can. Yes, we can.
Oh, okay, good. Thank you. I'm in and say that I'm really sorry that they killed off your dad. Matthew Ashford is one of my favorite actors, and I love when they brought him back, but they killed him off.
I know. It's a shame. So many people were disappointed by that. But, Matthew's, he's a really great guy, and he's going to go, I'm sure, is doing, great things with his career since then. And I was really lucky to work with him, and I was so happy when they brought him back because it gave Abigail, a lot of depth, I think, to go through those storylines. So I'm lucky that I had him when we did.
Right. And as in any soap, nobody's really dead. So,
Right.
We saw him come back once, so maybe this will happen again,
Well, I don't know. That was a tough one, right?
I know.
I know it's a soap, but coming down from that elevator, I don't know how we could really survive that one. But we'll see.
You just never know. I mean, writers are smart people, so we'll just have to wait and see somewhere down the line. Maybe when Abby is married and having her first child and thinking about her dad, and then all of a sudden here he comes.
Or he could come back as a ghost. You never know.
Yeah.
He could come haunt her in a good way.
Right.